Salinity profiles play an integral role in our understanding of the Arctic coastal waters. Presently, however, our knowledge is very limited due to the lack of observations in these remote areas. But what if we challenged the harsh environment with autonomous instruments, the expensive data logging with low-cost design and manufacturing, and the traditional methods with new, versatile thinking? The COP has been designed, manufactured, and tested throughout the past year. It's been brought to Ella Island, northeast Greenland, to test its capabilities of autonomous profiling in Arctic waters. So let's dive into this.
Ja, helt overordnet set, så har det Arktiske Forskningscenter ved Aarhus Universitet, det er jo sådan et tværvidenskabeligt samarbejde mellem forskellige grupper. Altså vi har jo brugt de her instrumenter i de sidste 20-25 år her på Grønland, og det har vi gjort, fordi at vi holder øje med havstrømmene og hvordan de påvirker smeltningen af indlandsisen. Og så er ved det, at man måler temperatur og salt, så det giver en idé om, hvor meget ferskvand der løber ud i havene, for det fortynder saltet, og samtidig bliver vandet jo koldere.
Man kan sige, at de arktiske forskere de har haft et behov for at optimere deres forskning, både tids- og prismæssigt. Og derfor så har vi udviklet en speciel profiler, som altså kan imødekomme det her lidt hårde miljø. Blandt andet som er at ændre dens densitet ret voldsomt i forhold til almindelige konventionelle profilers.
Fordelen ved bøjen her, det er, at den i arktiske områder selv kan bestemme dens dybde. Så det vil sige, at man kan smide den ud, og så kan man programmere den til at tage målinger fra overfladen og ned til en forudprogrammeret dybde. Tidligere der har vi været ude i både og skulle manuelt sænke vores måleudstyr ned til en bestemt dybde, og så hive det op igen efterfølgende. Med den her, der kan vi bare smide den ud, og så komme tilbage en dag senere, eller 5 dage senere, og så aflæse de målinger, vi har programmeret den til at tage. Med profiluren her, der har vi brugt et iridiumnetværk. Det vil sige, at hver gang den kommer op til overfladen, så sender den data hjem, hvor den skriver, hvor den er, og noget data for, om bøjen har det godt, og hvor meget batteri der er osv.
Nogle af de udfordringer, vi har haft med det her projekt, det er, at vi har skulle lave en profilerende bøje, der går ned til 200 meter. Den skal kunne holde til minusgrader, og samtidig så er der bølger, og der er is, og der er forskellige ting. Og det har været svært at teste hjemme i Danmark, eller for ikke at sige umuligt at teste alle ting på én gang hjemme i Danmark. Men når man kommer her, så skal man ikke mere end 100 meter fra, hvor vi sidder nu. Der har vi alle de her ting på én gang. Så det giver os muligheden for at teste og verificere det. Men når vi er med, så har vi også muligheden for at lave små ændringer, hvis der pludselig er noget, der er lidt anderledes, end hvad vi rent faktisk troede, det var. Så på den måde er det en unik mulighed for at optimere bøjen endnu mere, end hvad vi kan, når vi sidder teoretisk og skal forestille os, hvordan det er.
I bugten her bagom, der har vi haft både isbjerge, og vi har haft bølger, der vil gøre, at vi ikke kan sejle ud. Og det har passet fint med, at vores profiler, den har ligget alligevel ude og målt. Og der har vi altså bare kunne lade den ligge over hele natten, hvor vi ellers ikke vil komme ud i bugten og måle. Og dagen efter kunne samle den ind, hvor vejret det var fint, og så se målinger fra natten over med det udstadige vejr. Så man kan sige, det giver en helt anden ny mulighed til forskerne for at måle både steder, hvor de måske ikke turde komme ind, og på tidspunkter, hvor de ikke har haft mulighed for at komme ud.
Jeg er meget glad for, at det faktisk vi er kommet så langt, som vi er med det her. At nu kan man profilere ned til 100, 200 meter op og ned, og det virker. Og der har været fokus på det der med at få dem til at profilere. Og så har vi sat nogle sensorer på, som findes, men der er jo, man kan sætte utallige sensorer på, hvor man kan kigge på ikke kun salt- og temperaturforhold, men man kan kigge på iltsvind, man kan kigge på mængden af alger, man kan kigge på alle mulige forbindelser. Så det er jo en platform, der kan få dem til at vandre op og ned. Der er rigtig mange muligheder for at lave noget nu, og jeg må indrømme, jeg er meget positivt overrasket over, at det går så hurtigt, fordi jeg troede ikke, det ville gå så godt, som det gjorde. Så det er jo fint.
Agroclimatica, Risks and Opportunities. Agroclimatica is a bioclimatic data platform that provides risk scorings based on scientific data of climate, soil, crops, livestock, and their respective good practices. Agroclimatica identifies and quantifies the risk and opportunities related to agricultural financing and insurance. The platform is a tool that, through transparency in the risk profile, enables financial institutions to reduce operational costs and the losses in the agricultural portfolio, quantify the risk at farm level of your clients, increase the loan portfolio, eliminate subjectivity in the decision-making processes, report on environmental and social indicators, and so much more.
Thank you for watching this small introduction to Blue Ocean Robotics. Today, Blue Ocean Robotics is a group of companies. The mother company is Blue Ocean Robotics, and there are then 4 subsidiaries owned by Blue Ocean Robotics. Those are UBD robots, Gobi robots, PTR robots, and Mink robots. This short presentation will focus on Blue Ocean Robotics and also on UBD robots. Gobi robots is a robot for telepresence. PTR robots is a robot for safe patient handling and rehabilitation, and Mink robots is a robot for feeding mink animals. Blue Ocean Robotics, the mother company, is responsible for the development and production of robots, while each subsidiary is responsible for the marketing, sales, and customer services provided. Today we're going to talk about UBD robots, and the UBD robot is a robot which it's a mobile robot. It has a UVC light on the top. It moves into a room, drives around autonomously, and can disinfect and remove all bacteria and viruses in less than 10 minutes. So 99.99 or more can be removed in less than 10 minutes. The robot uses the sensors, the advanced sensor system it has, to navigate and expose the high-touch surfaces with the right amount of light in order to make sure that surface transferred infections cannot happen. And also, while doing that, also disinfects the air if there are particles, microorganisms on the particles in the air. The development of the UBD robot started in 2014 as a public-private partnership between Blue Ocean Robotics and Odense University Hospital in Denmark. The purpose was to prevent the hospital-acquired infections from happening, which back then, but also today, is a very severe problem. In fact, every time 16 people walk into a hospital, one of them acquires an infection, and in Europe alone, more than 100,000 people die every year because they acquire an infection by coming to the hospital. So the whole purpose of the partnership, public-private partnership, was to develop a solution which could actually contribute to preventing these infections from happening. The technique we use is that we have a robot moves around autonomously, as we heard about before, covers all the right surfaces with UVC light, and in this way kills the bacteria and viruses. UVC light is a special type of UV light. UV light can be divided into UVA, UVB, and UVC, depending on the wavelength. At 254 nanometer wavelength, the UVC light has this property that it penetrates nicely into the bacteria and virus and destroys all big molecules, including DNA and RNA, but also other molecules. And this basically stops the bacteria from their cell functions. That basically stops. The microorganisms cannot reproduce, they cannot infect, so they are deactivated in this way. The UVD robot consists of various components. It is a mobile robot, it can navigate and move around, and it can do so autonomously. The autonomy ensures that it can navigate in a smart way, avoiding hitting any obstacles, and at the same time get close to all relevant surfaces that needs to be disinfected. Autonomy also means that staff does not have to spend very much time. They just have to start up the robot, which means checking that safely wise it's okay to drive. The sensor system on the robot also means that it has a very extensive safety system. It stops if there are people in the environment, and if people go through a door and so on, it will stop. So very, very intelligent safety system. Also, the robot has been built in such a way that it's very, very easy to use. It's built to fit perfectly into the workflow that you see in a typical hospital. And also, more than 50 software features come with a robot, and this makes this robot very, very specialized towards working in this kind of environment and really do disinfection in an intelligent way. For example, the ability for the robot to show the user how well it disinfected, that enables the user to review and assess whether that disinfection was done properly. The user can make adjustments, improve the quality, and start up the robot again. And the robot can, of course, memorize what has been done lately and what is the right way to do it. So it's a perfect collaboration between the robot and the human, really a collaborative robot in this sense. We have also done very thorough testing and not just one class of testing or one type of testing, but many. Melbeck is one of the testing labs we've used. That's based in the UK. We've also the Danish Technological Institute, the Odense University Hospital, Tong General Hospital in Taiwan, and many others. So concluding on this is that we have developed a robot over the last 6 years. It is now widely used across the whole planet. It saves lives every day. It disinfects and prevents people from getting sick. And it's very easy to use. It is saving labor costs, labor time, and also reducing a lot on healthcare costs because of much fewer patients are getting sick and needs treatment. Thank you very much for watching this short introduction video about Blue Ocean Robotics and our UVD robot. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm the CEO and founder of Develop Diverse. Our vision is to normalize diversity, and we do that by ensuring an inclusive communication throughout an entire organization. Today, looking at being different affects how our skills, abilities, and potential is being perceived. And this affects the chances we have of getting a job, a promotion, or how big or small our salary is going to be. So how do we help companies normalize diversity? We do it by providing them with a software for their HR, their employer branding, their leaders, managers, and every single employee, so they can develop a culture of inclusion. A culture where everybody experiences acceptance, a feeling of belonging, and happiness, so they have the space to reach their full potential. Today, large companies are using our software, and they have experienced an increase of up to 4 times more qualified and diverse applicants in their job openings, because they ensure having an inclusive communication all along the organization. It might sound surprising, right, that just changing a few words already makes such a big impact on your diversity numbers and developing a culture of inclusion. But language is powerful. Language shapes cultures as much as culture shapes language. But instead of telling you more about the software, just let me show you how it works. The software helps the user in 2 ways. Firstly, it works as simple as a spell checker, but rather than checking for spelling mistakes, it checks for biased words and proposes inclusive alternatives. And secondly, it helps the user unlearn their unconscious biases by providing an explanation of why this word is biased. It's like having a personal unconscious bias trainer. So, should we wait 100 more years to get rid of our stereotypes, or shall we use technology to close the diversity gap today?
Hi, my name is Kiri Fløjstrup, and I'm an agronomist with FaunaPhotonics. At FaunaPhotonics, we see insects. So why should we care about insects? Feeding a population of 9 billion people in 2050 means increasing food production by 70%. It is expected that 90% of this production growth will come from higher yields and cropping intensity. To get these higher yields, it is vital to control and monitor the insects that affect food production. At the same time, environmental studies have shown a decline of 76% of flying insect biomass over 27 years. A healthy and sustainable insect population is fundamental for the future of sustainable agriculture and increased biodiversity. FaunaPhotonics is a technology company creating the next breakthrough in agricultural pest management and monitoring of insects. We focus on the 3 areas: what, when, and where. The what and the when are already a large part of our solutions, and the where will be part of our future developments. The sensor works by sending out infrared light, and any insect passing through the light will send a reflection back to the photosensor. Based on many different factors, such as wing beat frequency, body-to-wing ratio, and color, artificial intelligence will recognize an insect event from anything else passing the sensor. And as these traits are different from species to species, it can also recognize specific insect species, leading to an understanding of what is in the field. Continued data flow to our cloud ensures real-time understanding of when insects are flying in the field. In our app, farmers will have access to the total insect count of the day, the average insect activity during 24 hours for the past 7 days, and historic insect activity trends by date, leading to real-time decision support for optimal timing of insecticide sprays. Our next development goal is taking our technology from a stationary to a mobile solution, helping farmers understand where insects are in the field. Creating heat maps can lead farmers to only treat areas with high pest insect infestations, leaving large areas where non-target insects such as natural enemies and pollinators can survive. Reducing the amount of insecticide used has human health, environmental, and economic value. So why are we here? We work as a digital entomologist, digitizing the monitoring of insects for precision farming, helping understand pest insect populations, pollinators, natural enemies, and biodiversity. With in-field data and potentially regional movements and developments, hour to hour, day to day, and year to year, we are a digital solution to a historically time-consuming and difficult field of research. If you want to know more, check out our homepage at www.FaunaPhotonics.com. Thank you.
Vi bruger størstedelen af vores tid på arbejde, og hvordan vi har det er afgørende for, om vi er gode forældre, ægtefæller, kærester og venner. Derfor er det vigtigt for mig at være med til at skabe velfungerende organisationer og arbejdspladser. Og jeg tror på, at mere balance i ledelser bidrager hertil og gør vores arbejdsdag sjovere og mere meningsfuld. Med GoodTalks vil jeg derfor skabe veje for flere kvinder i topledelser, bestyrelser og som iværksættere. GoodTalks er ikke en politisk arena, og det handler ikke om kønskamp. Det er derimod et univers, hvor vi kan spille hinanden gode og vokse os stærke nok til at ture række ud efter de mest krævende og højeste stillinger. Selvom jeg har haft succes i min karriere, så tænker jeg rigtig tit på, hvornår bliver jeg afsløret i ikke at være god nok. Dette mindset oplever jeg begrænser flere kvinder. Hos GoodTalks tror vi på, at sårbarhed inspirerer. Deler vi de uglossede historier, skaber vi tillid og ærlighed og har større mulighed for at hjælpe hinanden. Lad os sammen spille hinanden gode.
GoodTalks. A place for those who wants to offer guidance and share their stories. When we share ideas and strategies, we gain balance and success. And when we courageously share our stories unglossy, we build lasting relationships in a network of compassion and collaboration. GoodTalks is a digital platform where you show up without armor. A platform where we encourage greater awareness and understanding of ongoing issues and challenges that we face in business. Together we lift each other to take the next step and redefine so me into so you. Join us at GoodTalks. We fuel each other.
Hello everyone, my name is Giuseppe and I'm one of the co-founders of Kleen. We have the mission to fight single-use culture. Now I'm going to tell you how we do it. We provide stainless steel takeaway boxes as a service for restaurants so that they can hand out food to consumers in our reusable boxes instead of single-use ones. Consumers have 10 days to return our reusable boxes to any restaurant of the Kleen network. Once a box gets returned to restaurant, the restaurant takes care of the cleaning before it can be handed out again. In return for every box handed out, Kleen earns 15 euro cents from the restaurant. Now let's have a look at the market capitalization. We assume that for every meal, a restaurant hands out 2 boxes. Assuming an average of 80 meals per day, this would mean that with the 502 takeaway restaurants in Copenhagen, the beachhead market size would be adding up to 4.4 million euro. Accordingly, the market size of the EU would be 6 billion, and the global market size would be 88 billion euro. What's in for the restaurants? Let's have a look at the customer value proposition. What you see on the left-hand side is a comparison of the prices that restaurants are paying for single-use plastic, biodegradable, and the reusable cleanup box. Because of the EU single-use plastic ban that will be enforced from 2021, restaurants will gravitate towards more green, but also much more expensive takeaway containers. And cleanup boxes are 57% cheaper than those. Adopting our service, each restaurant with an average of 80 meals per day will save up to 15,000 euro per year. Not only restaurants save money, but we also increase restaurants' visits and consumer loyalty. Thanks to our app and tracking system, we provide restaurant owners with valuable consumer data and analytics. So this is how our consumer-facing app and reusable box look like. The app is used to manage transactions and to ensure that consumers will return the boxes within 10 days without paying any deposit. It's contactless, easy to use, and will help us to scale faster. On the other hand, our reusable boxes are made of stainless steel. They are 100% recyclable and also they are hygienic. At the same time, they minimize storage space because they're super stackable and they come in 2 different sizes, which are perfect for a vast range of different meals, from Asian noodles to Italian ice cream. Operating in the B2B2C space, we have interviewed already more than 40 restaurants, and we have served more than 200 consumers. From restaurants, we have learned that while they do care about the environment, the price has still a high influence on the choice of takeaway boxes. Due to the low price and positive environmental impact of our service, restaurants have shown a very high interest to join us. From consumers instead, we have learned that takeaway consumption is high and they would be more likely to choose steel containers over the current single-use ones. This interest translates into a promising financial outlook. Let's dive in. On the right side, you see our three key drivers: product cost, circulation rate, and lifespan, as well as customer lifetime value. Your tool has helped us to estimate a total of 1.4 million euro profit per year in our beachhead market, with a market share of 35%. Our environmental impact is also significant. One reusable box has an estimated life cycle of 1,000 uses and saves on average 134 kilograms of CO2 emissions. Including the increased emission of transportation and dishwashing, our service still performs better than single-use and reduces CO2 emissions in the beachhead market by 84% for a total of 2,827 tons of CO2 emissions. So here we are. We are an international young and dynamic team with experiences ranging from sustainability, business development, growth hacking, design, and advertising. We met 4 years ago, and altogether we have our reusable dream. Replace all single-use containers in the takeaway and delivery sectors, and we are gonna make it. We are launching in less than 2 weeks with 7 partner restaurants in Vesterbro in Copenhagen. And our goal is to expand to 15 different countries and partner with food delivery companies to finally beat all single-use around. Our financial goal is to achieve a revenue of 100 million in 5 years and eventually fight single-use also in other sectors. Thanks everyone, good luck. Ciao.
Hi, I'm Torben from RealRelief. I'm presenting the Super Towel, which is a product to be used for hand washing in emergency settings. It's a product that can be used with access to very, very little water and no soap at all. So it deals with the problem of hand washing being a very inconvenient task in emergency settings. So it works in 2 ways. The fabric is responsible for removing the bacteria, and the antimicrobial treatment keeps the towel clean at all times. So what you want to do, and here we're actually having some contaminated water from a hand washing station. You wet your towel, and even if there are bacteria in the water, those bacteria will have been killed already by now. So you take the towel in the wet state and you wash your hands like you would normally wash your hands using water and soap. And having done that, you have clean hands. So our project has proven that the Super Towel is actually a factor 10 more efficient in removing bacteria from hands than washing with water and soap.
We are going to leave the station because it is now unsafe to be here.
Look at this map. We now have 61 uncontained large fires.
In the last few years, millions of acres of forests around the world have been destroyed by aggressive wildfires. A small fire outbreak can turn into a wildfire and reach catastrophic proportions in minutes.
Nós não podemos permitir que o fogo atinja grandes proporções. Então é importante que a gente seja acionado rápido para que a gente combata o fogo ainda no seu início. Para o atendimento de uma emergência, cada segundo conta.
Considering that fact, we developed a monitoring system that detects promptly in automatic mode any possible fire outbreaks in forests. High-resolution cameras installed in towers integrated with our powerful algorithm solution identify the smoke within a range of 9.5 miles radius and covering 172,000 acres. Once the system detects the smoke, a sound and visual alarm are activated and firefighting authorities are warned to take action.
Alert. Fire outbreak detected.
Our solution identifies the exact position of the fire outbreak. By triangulating the coordinates, it increases the efficiency of the fire brigade. All of it in up to 3 minutes. A 24/7 service.
Quando a gente recebe o aviso da ocorrência, o tempo-resposta é fundamental. Pode ser decisivo entre a vida e a morte.
Our solution can also support field operations by sending real-time images directly to the incident command. Our roadmap includes an artificial intelligence development that will combine historical data analysis with weather forecast and satellite monitoring to predict possible fire before it even starts.
Quanto mais se investe em prevenção, menos se gasta com a solução de tragédia, sem levar em conta as vidas salvas e o meio ambiente. Isso é incalculável.
Thank you for watching.
Did you know that countries with high levels of English as a second language also tend to have high levels of economic output, higher levels of education, and higher levels of equality in society? Countries like Sweden, for example. This is because learning English offers opportunities, both to the individual and society as a whole. I believe students everywhere deserve the same. My name is Jennifer Gardner, and I'm a qualified teacher from the UK. I have a Master's in Education and a further Master's in Law, Gender and Society. And it's the combination of these qualifications and my time spent living abroad that's led me to start the English classroom. The British Council estimate there are 2.6 billion learners of English around the world. 400 million of these students are sat in classrooms with access to the internet. However, the British Council also say that a lack of English language instructors presents one of the biggest challenges to citizens across the globe. Over the past year, my team and I have been conducting research to investigate the impact of this shortage. We've collected data from over 600 teachers in 58 different countries, 20% of whom are teaching without a qualification. Many report a lack of time for quality planning, and shockingly 10% of English teachers say that their own level of English is inadequate. Take Camilla, for example. She and I have been working together for over a year, and she teaches at a private school in Afghanistan. She has a relatively high level of English, and she inspires her students every day. However, she openly admits to me that sometimes she doesn't know how to teach certain topics or lessons because she doesn't have a teaching qualification. But I have a solution. Using new technology, we can give tools to existing local teachers like Camilla so that they can teach a high-quality English education. The teachers of our lessons do not need to have a higher education themselves. They do not need to be able to speak English, and they can be located anywhere in the world with an internet access. This digital solution can be scaled globally to eliminate the problem of supply and demand. So what does this look like? Schools or private teachers will pay as little as $10 a month for access to full English courses designed by qualified teachers. Every lesson comes with teacher instructions, translated to the teacher's local language, and a presentation to share in the student's classroom. The presentations include over 2,500 sound clips of recorded English, removing the need for the teacher to be able to speak the language. But there's a twist. Our lessons teach English through the theme of the UN Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. So Camilla's class, for example, receive an introduction to concepts like recycling and the girl plays football early in their academic career, whilst an advanced English class will conduct group projects on eliminating food waste or designing sustainable cities of the future. By offering two educations in one, we believe this doubles the opportunities for students. and it creates a unique selling point for the English classroom. As far as our extensive market research shows, there are no competitors who offer either a complete English education or who teach English through the theme of the UN Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. Benefits of using the English classroom are that it's a cost-efficient way to teach English. Schools no longer need to buy expensive textbooks, print lots of materials, or employ foreign teachers. Our lessons also save precious time for teachers whilst increasing the quality of their lessons. But more than this, the English classroom extends the opportunity of learning English to everyone. Thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Lily and I'm the founder of Wair. We are a textile upcycling startup on a mission to make fashion waste-free. And this is important because fashion is one of the most wasteful industries, with less than 1% of all textiles being recirculated back into the fashion system. The problem is that there is no scalable way to reuse the imperfect textiles. This means that good jeans like this with just a tiny hole or stain ends up being either downcycled or simply thrown away. This is a massive waste of our limited resources, and we're changing this by making textile upcycling scalable. Okay. So simply put, what we do is that we transform the unwanted and imperfect textiles into upcycled fashion. Our first product is these upcycled sneakers that are made from discarded workwear and jeans, and the rest of the shoe is made from natural and recycled materials such as recycled cotton laces and recycled rubber sole. All this combines makes our sneakers super sustainable, which we're very, very proud of. Unfortunately, sustainability isn't everything, and a lot of people really want to buy sustainable fashion, but they're prevented from doing so because it's simply too expensive. And we believe that if we want to make a real impact, we need to make fashion where people don't have to compromise on price in order to buy it. That's the reason for a relative low price point of 100 euros per pair, which we're working on getting even further down in the near future. So how do we make textile upcycling scalable? That's the real question. So textile upcycling is something that's often left out of the circular fashion agenda, and this is because people are saying that it can never make a real change because it's not scalable. But we want to challenge that, and we want to prove that textile upcycling can be an amazing solution for the imperfect textiles, where we can retain the value within the textiles without having to downcycle them. So how we do it is that firstly, we standardize the input material so it fits with the current production methods. Secondly, we semi-standardize the pre-production steps so we can unlock the scalability potential. And lastly, we also redesign the product so it fits with the input material. And all of these steps goes together, so we are creating a upcycling model that makes textile upcycling scalable. So in terms of our environmental impact, we are upcycling, which means that we're using the fabric as it is, thereby skipping resource-intensive steps such as spinning and weaving and dyeing. Apart from that, we have used circular design principles to create a shoe and products that is as sustainable as possible throughout the entire life cycle. Thereby, we have created a product that is made from waste, but also is made to be recyclable, so it doesn't become waste when that product reaches end of life. All of this leads to a very low environmental impact, and actually we're saving around 8 kilos of CO2 equivalent per pair compared to the conventional sneakers. On the other hand, in terms of our social impact, we believe that upcycling represents a golden opportunity for co-creation and empowerment. And this is why we are offering upcycling workshops where we teach people how to turn textile waste into their own upcycled fashion items. And we believe this is really important in order to inspire and empower people to take up the fight against fast fashion. So in Wair, we have done some pretty cool things so far, if we should say so ourselves. We have, for example, had a successful crowdfunding campaign. We have sold over 150 pairs of shoes, and we haven't just sold them, we have also produced them and delivered them to our first customers, and we're now on our second production round. We have also been chosen for top accelerator programs, for example, Founder Graduate, which we're a part of now, and we also got into the Climate Kick Accelerator through landing a spot in top 16 in their global climate launchpad competition. Our workshops are doing really well. We have had 20 plus workshops till date, and we will just continue offering inspiration and empowerment for people to fight fast fashion. And we also have 14 amazing sustainable fashion nerds in our team, which is quite incredible because just a couple of months ago we only had 3 team members. So there's a really big interest for people to join our mission and join what we're doing here at Wair. The Wair sneakers is just a first step in our journey towards creating a waste-free fashion revolution. So for Wair, our plans is that we want to develop a new product line of upcycled fashion products. We want to further develop and iterate our upcycling model so we can make textile upcycling even more scalable. Then we want to raise awareness both about Wair, but also about textile waste and textile upcycling as a powerful solution to this. And lastly, we also want to create a network, and actually we have already had our first meeting with this network where we together can make the necessary change in order to make fashion waste-free. With me on this journey towards waste-free fashion, I have Felicia, our production guru, Martina, our marketing superstar, our 2 amazing sustainable fashion designers, Emma and Linda, and Amrei, who's in charge of logistics and strategy. And our dream is to create a scalable textile upcycling model so we can be the catalyst for a waste-free fashion revolution. If you want to join our mission, if you want to partner up, if you just want to talk, we would love to hear from you. So you can contact us at lily@sustainablewear.com. Lastly, we just want to say if you have been intrigued by the sneakers throughout this whole presentation, they are available for pre-sales at sustainablewear.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we look forward to hearing from you.
During rush hour, 19 out of 20 drive alone in their car. At the same time, public transport, which has the potential to solve the problems, is economically challenged by less use, especially in the countryside where the buses run less frequently. How do we stop this negative spiral? Peer-to-peer ride-sharing is part of the solution. We want to include private cars in the public transport system, and that's why we developed the NeighborGo platform, which creates matches between people going the same way. But it's more than that, because in the same platform, users can see all options with public transport. This way, they can find the best itinerary with only one search, for example, a lift with NeighborGo out in the morning and a bus home in the afternoon. To make ride-sharing an easy choice, we created digital meeting points, which enables you to make a rideshare appointment with just a few clicks. An example is the village Smidstrupskærup, which originally had 4 daily departures by bus towards the nearby city of Vejle. After we launched NeighborGo, citizens of this village now has the opportunity to get a lift to several big cities in Denmark on a daily basis. The platform shows combinations of transport so users can often find the fastest way to their end destination. For example, a NeighborGo lift from the village to a station in the city where they can jump on a train to their final destination. In NeighborGo, we focus a lot on campaigns that we adapt to the specific location, because we believe campaigns become relevant and vibrant when we spread the word about ride-sharing together with our local partners. People are embracing ride-sharing, and we look forward to continue to work with partners and to engage users in Denmark and in Europe.
Well, thank you for listening in on this small NeighborGo film. My name is Kasper Mikkelsen, and I'm one of the 2 co-founders of NeighborGo. And as you have seen in the movie, what we want to achieve is a fundamental change in the way we transport ourselves, especially between countrysides and cities, where we enable the many empty seats that are in the cars, and also integrate carpooling as part of public transportation. So with this small pitch here, we would really like to reach out to European partners who are obviously either public transportation authorities or municipalities who work with creating better lives in rural districts or reducing CO2 emissions or fighting local congestion. But we also would like to reach out and collaborate with more complementary transport providers. That could be shared bike systems or scooters, or even other transportation providers with buses or minivans or the such, as we see the entire ecosystem of mobility as an important part of change our habit of driving alone in cars to using more services across a number of mobility forms. So if this has your interest, then please reach out to us either here today or by email or telephone. We'll be happy to have a small talk and see if we can do a positive change for your local area, or maybe set up a collaboration for joint benefit. Thank you so much for listening in.